League, back again, casting another set. This time for our Jotun division, TKC, aka the King's Court, versus MSS. I'm joined once more by Veroxas, aka Miss 309, and our
Hello, hello.
production today is Red Rosy Panda. So coming in, TKC already super lucky that PSN decided that they wanted to start working again. So Corbin being able to play, really big deal. Along with I think he said one other player for that team. So already good luck on the side of TKC actually able to have some of their starters, not miss today because of something that's PlayStation's fault.
Yeah, was it an outage just on the entire PlayStation servers?
Yes. Yep. And we
Interesting.
don't have a graphic for it, but just to catch up on some bands here, it's Ama and Chalk so far for the King's Court, and a Maman and a Kama for MSS. So not skipping ban, just the graphic. So all good with that, and then a Terra third ban for TKC, taking out three frontliners in the top three. No mages, no hunters, no assassins, just straight up beef.
I guess they know MSS has a very strong front line and they just want to get rid of everything they can.
I mean, don't
I
get
don't
me
think it's
wrong.
worth banning out someone like Buffs, who I'm fairly certain has a pretty wide god pool.
Yeah, I agree. You can ban all the top meta things you want, but it doesn't really matter if he can take a pick at 10 regardless and just do perfectly fine with it.
Yeah,
And I'm also just happy to always play in a set that doesn't include Chalk, Ama, and Terra because I swear they're in every match.
I agree. I think the game's more fun without those gods in the game.
You're not wrong. There's something about diving into a back line and then just being silenced that's just not cool. But that being said, we did ban Terra over Ganesh. Terra also super annoying.
Mhm.
And a X Ball final ban for MSS, and then an Odin top pick.
That's interesting. Um, I'm thinking if they're taking it this early, it might be going in support or solo.
Some flex
I find
value,
it
yeah.
unlikely to be a jungle pick this early.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. Probably definitely have to flex that top pick. Like, that is bold to just come out and declare that. But I
yeah,
also
especially with a
just,
lot of different prio picks up
yeah.
still. Morgan Le Fay, Yu Huang, tons of
And,
things.
yeah. And Odin's never really going to feel bad. Like, they can draft five leaps and that's fine, but if you leap in, your leap is still just down. You can't get through the wall.
Yeah,
That
the
being
cage, no
said,
matter
though,
what, will force cooldowns.
Yamoja and Charybdis straight into it afterwards. So already not great for the Odin, but still just like I said, if your three's down, what are you doing? If you can't go underneath the walls, you are just stuck.
Fair. But Charybdis, yeah, definitely a favorable matchup for the Odin. You could just nope out of there. Don't need a shell, don't need nothing. You
Yep.
just disregard it completely. And the Yemo, I assume, will be going a shell as well.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Yamoja's three does throw people out of the cage, right? If they set it up properly.
Yes, if you place it, I'm pretty sure it needs to be exactly on one of the walls, but yeah, it can just take you out of it.
I mean, I don't hate it, especially if, like you said, they end up running the shell anyway, right? You've got the shell as your first option, and then you do just have a chance to get out of it anyway. Jing Chan and Cupid, though, going to make it a little bit harder to get out of the cage if you just are crippled.
Hmm.
Uh, and the exact, I want to say the exact size of the cage, if not a little bit bigger too, right? So can't really hug an edge and hope that you get out if they line it up perfectly.
I'm fairly certain the Cupid ult is considerably bigger than the Odin Cage as well.
Maybe I hate Odin. I don't play that
But
god. I'm talking it up.
Cupid
I
ult is
hate that god.
ginormous. It's like almost the size of an FG pit.
Really?
But it's pretty big.
My mid guard is
You
showing.
are
Uh
not yet ready
oh.
to become the
And then
Jade
Yu Huang, one of the
Emperor.
picks you mentioned, going unbanned since we banned the three beefcakes. Going to be taken six here by MSS. Not. I don't think you can ever hate on a Yu Huang pick, like ever, especially in this
Definitely
meta.
not. He's got all you
Uh,
want.
exactly. He's got the safety, and he's got a lot of it. He's got
He's got
CC
huge
immunity in
burst.
the alt, displacement with the alt, huge burst.
Placed
Got a
well late
root in
game, you catch
there.
someone with no beads, the ult is just an execute. Pulls them into your
Yep.
team, nearly 1 HP.
Yep. And then even if you do magically survive, I mean his 1 and 2 are almost immediate casts, so good luck. Now we
Yeah.
got a couple more bands coming in. Going to be the Alpha Hera for MSS and the Bastet for TKC so far.
The best, that's an
So
interesting one. Uh, I just don't think that god is very good. She's kind of like a pest. She gets in, does a bit of damage, gets out. But her ult is on a super long cooldown. It's like 110 seconds for an ult that's not really that great. It's not super confirmable, and it travels very slow.
and the Daji as well. So maybe just trying to get rid of some of the like safer picks, maybe. Try to
Yeah,
force him on something
into
a
an
little bit
Odin
more
Cupid who just have
volatile.
no in-kit
Yep.
CC immunity.
Yeah. Um I don't think I'll ever hate a Daji ban either. Like I said, never gonna hate the Odin, never gonna hate the Yu Huang. Also, never going to hate not seeing Daji. Played 1 season as carry. Not a fan. Not a
Hmm.
fan of Daji being on the enemy team.
Yeah, absolutely hate that god.
It's
If
like
I see her in
the
my
alt.
game,
The
I'll
alt
most
just has
likely
so
almost
much
likely buy a bubble.
versatility. It has so much versatility, right? You can use it for engage, try to pull some beads, even or take advantage of people's beads being down. You can also use it to leap away in any direction you see fit. Like, you
Hmm.
can use it in so many ways over walls. Like it's just a very good tool. Coquelin getting picked up for MSS here in pick 7. So got their front line now. TKC also assuming, like you said, the Odin not going jungle and Lancelot there confirming it. Agni going to go mid as well. So only pick left in this game for us being the jungler for this MSS side. But now we see the full 5 for TKC here. It's a lot of beads burning, and it's a whole lot of punishment for not having it. Like,
It's also a
unironically, we
ton of
banned the
punishment for
Daji.
getting caged.
Yeah, we banned the Daji, but I think the only way this team has much more CC is by taking the Daji. Um, that's a lot of beads user or a lot of beads pullers. A
Yep.
lot.
It will be Odin in the solo lane.
I agree. I think so as well. I don't know
Um,
how much fun he's going to have into Kukulkan. I've played against Terminator in or Louis in QSL Shallows, the 1 season that I got drafted way too high and pulled up. Um, very good solo laner, but Odin into a almost all aggro god like Kukulkan, man, like it's going to require some really, really, really good mechanics, and I
yeah,
think a few mistakes on Kukulkan's part as well.
Odin also is just, I feel the kind of god who can stalemate the solo lane. Not
I agree
definitely
with that.
not
Yeah.
win the lane, but he can kind of stalemate it and not lose it. He's for sure going to lose a lot of the neutral camps to Cucullin, having to just back off from the pressure.
Yep.
But
Now a
yeah,
Hebo last pick going to add to the burst already of the Hu Huang. We're talking about his alt being pretty much an execute late game. Hebo's no slouch either.
pardon?
The Hebo pick
Yeah.
is not a slouch. Like his alt also hit for a whole lot of
Oh yeah,
numbies,
for sure.
and then his
They have
3
huge
hitting.
burst potential on the MSS side, but it's a also a pretty unsafe god
No, 100%. Yep.
into
It's 100.
Jing
It's a
Chen,
100 to
Cupid,
0.
Lance as well.
I
They
think with
also
the
have
Hebo,
no stuns for the Lance, so
I didn't realize how
he's
many
gonna have
had it.
free reign
Yeah.
on his horse aside from getting bursted off the.
Yeah, because water spout. I mean, maybe you can burst him off with it, but knockup immune, root immune, slow immune. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a lot. That is a lot. But I think if you're playing Hebo, right, you're probably just banking on the fact that once you get past 20 minutes anyway, what are the odds you can hit him with a water spout and he doesn't get knocked off?
Yeah,
Especially if you're building
it'll.
correctly or you can get a little bit of a lead.
Shell's got a
Hebo,
lot of HP, but it doesn't have that much HP.
yeah, his water spout's going to be hitting for anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,500 once we get to minute 30 anyway,
Hmm.
depending on buffs and like pots and all that. So a lot of burst. Um, lot of bursts from this MSS side, but also a lot of beads, burn, punishment, pull, whatever you want to call it on TKC side. So two very different draft ideas, I think.
No, it'll be interesting to see how they clash and how they adapt into each other.
Yeah, I'm looking forward, especially to this carry. I was excuse me, I was Kazar's captain one season in VOC. We were god awful, but still get to say that I drafted him, which must mean that I'm better, right? Surely. Uh,
That was
and
definitely a
he
mistake.
did
That
get
guy
drafted.
stinks.
Well, it's, not all captains can be perfect. All right, I reached on him, took a one of one, but he is playing the Cupid into a Charybdis, so I'm really interested to see how it goes. Um, haven't seen Kazar play, I think, since the OSL Cup or OSL tourney, whatever they called it, that King of the Hill tourney they had.
Hmm. Yeah, the cup.
So, yep. So, looking forward to that. I have not been able to catch his Jotun game so far, but now he's being casted, and I'm casting it, so I don't really have to worry about it anymore. If he gets soloed, I get to take screenshots or ask chat to clip it. And if
Yeah,
he wins, I can just ask production to delete the VOD, and I can delete the screenshots. So
true.
they can't stop me. They can't stop me.
Yeah, I got bounced in quarters of the OSL Cup to the Demon Teddy Zeus.
Oof.
Yeah, I played
Well,
a Hunbats into it and could not do very
oh
much.
yeah, that's rough.
I
you
kind
would,
of just got exploded on
yeah.
cooldown.
If he had bees, I don't think you stood a
No,
chance.
I did not.
You clicked four and you were trapped with him.
I
You were the
would
one
blink in,
fearing
press four,
evil.
and leap out, and I'd still be dead.
Yeah, that's not great. I'm sorry,
I
what was
think
that?
we're ready to go in.
All right. Kind of going on here as we make our way to the battleground. Everyone going exactly where we expected them to. No real surprise. Yemo a little bit up further, trying to get the ward down early. Possible sign of an early gank, but I mean, there's also supports that just do that every game, so hard to really
Yeah, it's
put
just
any
coverage
stock
from
in
the
that.
early ganks.
Yeah, hard to put any stock in that whatsoever. Could be an early gank for them. Could be, preventing an early gank from the other team. I mean, vision is vision.
Hmm.
Any interesting starts or interesting build paths so far that you've seen?
Not that I can tell. I see Cullen going into most likely a mystical. Probably going to leave it at a T2. But aside from that, everything seems pretty standard.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing. I'm assuming Odin probably going into a breastplate. Uh, Lee is taking a lot of damage. He's just sitting there, Charybdis autoing the wave, because our shooting exclusively the Charybdis. But he does just have a Yemo, so we
Yeah,
get to pad the stats a
Poke
little
doesn't
bit.
mean too much with that god in the lane.
Yeah, we get to pad the stats a little bit, but probably not going to amount to anything.
Yemo
Um,
with no defensive relic though. Going beads for I'm not really sure actually.
I
I
guess
guess
just
that
trying to play
just
life
vision
at level
channeled.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think you're not really worried too much about the Lancelot, or not enough to the point where we're buying beads first relic. So probably just
Yeah.
the
But into a
Xingqiang lane.
Cupid combo with Jing Chen, it's kind of a
Yeah.
guaranteed death if he gets to free cast on you that much in the ult.
Yep. The mid 2v2 not resulting in anything. Both sides respectively taking their side camps. But Yemo, speaking of that early low ward, going to get massive value out of it already. Lance coming in for the Naga super early on. Kazar and Corbin going to the shield camp. So TKC going to get both neutrals here. Um, and Hebo pinging out the mass camp of MSS right now, waiting for it. Blue
Yep.
mask, a lot of value on an early invade there.
Definitely double CDR TQ early on, getting the extra CDR for yourself as well as denying it for the other team. It can have a big impact.
And we got some damage on Yu Huang, but with Kukulin already having Odin at tower line, do you even feel confident in a counter invade, like as a jungler here?
Definitely not. Cucullin rotating over could just be instant death for the two of them. But they do
Well,
have Lance on a horse and Agni with some
they're doing
CC,
it.
but they are
They're
going for it.
gonna do it anyway.
They're looks like they're getting a little sandwiched. Yu
Hebo is
Huang
staring
pretty
at
out of
them.
position at low HP. His three is going to come out,
I don't think
but
Agni has buttons, otherwise he probably dies. And now Lance may die for it. Hebo chasing, going to get Lance Blink out of it. Not sure if they got it.
I
We
guess we'll
see,
see
yeah, we'll
when they
see
go to their
them at
buffs.
the red camp, yeah. And coming into view, no, they did not get it.
No,
So Lance Blink for essentially nothing, unfortunately. And it's also looking like the blue gets invaded by this Kukulin as well.
yeah, level 5 Cucullin, he gets to 1v2.
Yep. Not much you're going to be able to do about that, unfortunately. Uh, played played that god a few times. At one point got called a Kukulin one trick, and then played against that god plenty enough because that god never feels bad. It seems like.
Especially after the buffs he received
Exactly.
semi-recently.
Exactly. There's not much you can do, man. There's just not much. Even if Odin and Lance had the tier 2 items they have now, he just if he manages his rage properly, he's just got 4 more or 3 more abilities than you do.
Hmm.
It's rough.
And as far as meta goes, well, quote unquote meta, it's not a real meta, but there's no more balance changes coming to this game. This is it.
Yep.
This is how it's gonna stay. You
Yep.
know,
Learn the meta
Kukul's
now.
always gonna be strong. Spear of Desolation's gonna be OP forever.
Can't wait to see X Ball top 3 banned in every comp set for the next year and a half.
It's
Assuming
actually
Smite manages
tragic.
to
I hate
last.
that god so much.
Oh,
Oh,
Lance going in and getting absolutely annihilated by this Charybdis Yemo. Yemo's waves not even crashing down on him before he died there. Guessing that was a little bit of a miscommunication. Lance went all the way in, and Kazar and Corbin were still on their side of the lane as Lance was in.
yeah. Might have been a case of no buttons on the Cupid.
Maybe Lance still, unfortunately, going to get his ult ticked over from that just because the dash started as he died.
Looking
So
like a Bull
instead of
Demon
going all for an
taken,
ult,
secured by the Hebo ult. Crashing Wave. Uh, what's it called? No, it's not Crashing Wave.
now Corbin getting porked out by this Charybdis as well, trading in the duo lane, getting a little too much than he asked for, a little more than he asked for, excuse me. But so far, 5 minutes in, MSS Jungle Camp invade on the blue and the mask. Got a first blood on the Lance early. Got the first bull. I don't think they've had anything not go their way so far. And with Hebo at the blue, I don't think it's going to pivot anytime soon unless Corbin just pulls out an MVP support play here.
Yeah, huge level advantage on the side for MSS. It will get stolen. Not going to outsecure Hebo on that.
Yeah.
Jing channeled coming through just to send him away into
One
the
of the
team, but
times that you wish
it doesn't
Odin
look
was
like
there.
he's in very much trouble.
Yeah, but now Lance going to ult in after him. Hebo doesn't have ult, but he does have speed, and Lance doesn't, so you're just not going to be able to run him down. Yemo rotating over for a little bit of added protection, and Yu Huang as well. And Corbin still forward, but not much of his not any of his teammates for that matter seem like they want to go in with him. Now his leaps down, he's in the waves. Terminator getting comboed, Hebo crushing wave, and Yu Huang ult and Yamoja waves going to finish him off. Corbin following shortly afterward. Now Lance low health trying to run through the fire giant
Oh,
pit, but going to
great
get hit
Riptide from the
by
Yemo there.
Yep, going to get hit by Yamoja's Riptide to bounce him back before he even has a chance to get out of Yu Huang dash range. So yeah,
Not much
MSS
going the way
early,
of TKC here.
yeah, MSS early, MSS often. The only lane that I think hasn't just been invaded and slammed so far. Well, I guess we shouldn't say slammed 6 minutes in, but the only lane that's not feeling just worse off is ADC, and it's still a level disadvantage across the board. Um, I guess mid, no, mid same level, even though this Yu Huang's 201. Uh, Speaking of that, he immediately ticks over to 9 and makes me wrong again. So love that. Uh, I'm trying. But solo going in the favor of this Kakolan. Kind of expected though. Lance 0-2 to start though was not counting on that one.
Yeah, definitely a rough start for a jungle who likes being ahead. Not that all jungles don't like being ahead, but Lance with a lead can absolutely run the map with the
Yeah,
speed on the horse. You know,
yeah.
Bull Demon here coming from MSS
Lance
should
is
be pretty
there,
free.
but yeah, Lance is there. But Kakolan I think turned at him for a quarter of a second, and Lance thought better of it.
Hmm.
And I don't necessarily blame him. Right now, Lance is out leveled by the Yamoja on the enemy team. And not to give Terminator any slack, he also is out leveled by the Yamoja on the enemy team. But Yu Huang all going to come through, get Agni beads. Yamoja 1 going to get the stun, but Agni getting some of that diminishing return value going to get out of there before Yu Huang's 1 can hit him fully, and he barely escapes with about 50, 60 health. So he's enjoying that mechanic right about now. Otherwise, he's on the gray screen, and he is one of 2 members on this TKC team that hasn't been there yet. So, preferably not wanting to go there anytime soon. Kibo checking out these duo side buffs, but nothing up. Corbin going to pad those damage stats a little bit. Probably nothing more, but
Shouldn't
it,
have too much impact. 4 people on
I,
him right now.
I think he may
He
be
should
dead.
be picked right now. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
gets
gone.
completely
Crushing
flattened
wave.
by the Hebo ult. Yuan goes up in the air, might get cut out by
Lance
Lance.
casing. It'd be a nice turnaround kill for him if he got it. But Kazar, the ADC player, going to steal that. No concern for his team's well-being whatsoever. I steal buffs. Also low now, stuck in this Odin cage. Also going to go to Kazar. I cannot believe this selfish gameplay. But now Evil or Evan Lee, excuse me, getting down to half health. But Kakalin finally making the rotation over, immediately stopping the fight with a kill onto Mental Booming on the Lance. So now going to turn into a MSS Gold Fury pull. And
They
Terminator
have
is
good
not going to
vision,
walk up
but
into that.
I don't
But
think
Jin
TKC
Chan
can walk
is.
in. Oh, he's looking for it.
Gazar coming up slowly as well. Maybe getting lucky with a heart bomb here.
Oh,
And he
they got it!
does! He does! That's massive. That is absolutely massive for TKC.
Yeah,
Getting, I mean, still down 2.5K at 9.5 minutes, but I mean, stopped it from, I mean, it looked like it was going to get to almost 4 there for a second. A good fight that gets Kazar a double kill. I think every person on his team was there, so they all get assist gold as well, and then an gold fury steal on top of that. I mean,
yeah.
that's the swing, and now
That's
immediately
about as
going
much as they
into a
want.
bull pull as well. I
And it
mean,
looks like they're going to get it pretty uncontested. Hebo does not make it in time. And suddenly the game's looking a little less grim.
yeah, and now all of a sudden TKC is not like just waiting this game out to be over. That swaps that fast in a 2 minute swing. We get TKC getting their first, then second kill. We get a Gold Fury steal, and then we get a Bull Demon pull as well, just uncontested.
Yep. The effects of a Hebo cage on. Uh, sorry, my bad. An Odin cage on a Hebo who just can't do very much inside it.
Yep. Especially, I think Umoja died or not died. Umoja had to get out of there pretty early on as well. They went back in. I may be misremembering that, and if that's the case, then I mean, sue me. But Umoja had backpedaled a little bit before the Odin leaped in on the Hebo and got him caged up, so not able to do the riptide that we were talking about. And no one on
Oh,
the team. Oh
huge
Jesus!
rebuke out of
Crushing waves and rebuke out of the
the
Umoja and the
Umoja.
Yu Huang all going to get Agni's beads. Not going to save his life though, as Hebo comes in with the water spout, finishes them off. Corbin going to alt Ho Yi, or not Ho Yi, Yu Huang and Umoja under the tower, but with no follow up there whatsoever. Not going to turn into anything. Uh, Looks like it's just going to be 2 ults for 1 kill and a pair of beads.
Oh, the Kakalan actually went solve first item.
I don't think I was expecting that, but now Evan Lee getting ganked by this Lancelot. Heart Bomb was on him, but Charybdis 3 going to save him from that. And then the ult going to save him from the Lancelot ult as he speeds and zigzags his way through his tower to safety. Lance looking for the purple green, but both down, not going to get invaded. Now Hebo creeping up through the Gold Fury pit, but turning around back to Beacon. Lance going to be coming up behind him, though. They should know he's coming, but no one's
Yeah.
facing him as Agni Bomb lands on Ice Steel buff. Second bomb lands on him. Corbin knocks him up. Lancelot is now in on him, but Lance already poked out after a singular Yu Huang ability. Now Corbin, the only one left at the beacon, standing,
Mm.
staring
Both
in the
solo
face
laners,
of MSS.
both solo
Both
laners
ever
rotating in. Only one of the ADCs on the TKC side coming in. Curved is still all alone in left lane.
Knuckle Colin getting a little poked out. If that heart bomb's a stun, he's in danger, but no one following up on it besides Kazar. Corbin going to ult the Yaboja and Yu Huang and the Hebo, get the beads on the Hebo, misses Yu Huang. Now crushing waves going down from Yamoja in the center of this beacon. Also caught out a little too far forward. Kazar finally turning on them. Yu Huang going to use his 3 to get out. Yamoja trying to sustain, stay in the beacon pit, but now he's 1v3 as Odin forces out the other members of this MSS team. But now Evan Lee coming down through the side of Gold Fury pit on the Cryptus from behind. And Yu Huang going to die, but then Kazar, Demon Teddy, Terminator, and Corbin going to fall in response after this Charybdis rotation. And we are immediately going to go into a pause after that one.
Yeah, absolutely huge beacon fight for MSS. They kill 4 and they get the beacon. Um, I'm not exactly sure what happened to the Yemoja ult there. It looked like it went up and then immediately vanished. So I'm a little confused.
I am as well. I thought she died.
No, but she
Which is
didn't.
why I
She
was going to
lived.
say that he died and Yu Huang died, but he definitely didn't. So probably what this pause is about, the moment we get out of combat, immediately going into a pause. We can't see whose side has paused it though, so no confirmations. But I I mean, if there's nothing to add, I mean, Lord knows how long this pause is going to be. So
Yep.
I guess we'll just go ahead and transition to a break and wait on one of these captains to tell us when they are ready. for the delay, but low res, high res, whoever you want to call them, let's hope they get bought out by literally any company that exists. The spectate broke for us at 13 minutes. The captains were like, "Hey man, we're about to unpause in a minute." And we're like, "All right, cool." So then we sat there for about 20 minutes before we messaged them again, like, "Yo, what the sigma?" And that's when we found out that the game had been unpaused for them the entire time. TKC just took game one in 33 minutes and 28 seconds. We are trying to hopefully cast game two so we are not just skipping out on Jotun for another week. But obviously, if it crashes again, there's not much we're like actually able to do about it. But game one was just finished by TKC. Off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 12 kills to 27. I don't know. You'll be able to see it in the Jotun match reports afterward. I was only able to find out, excuse me, that it ended because I was swapping to Arrow's stream and saw them literally as they killed Titan. So it was a TKC comeback, which is unfortunate because when we left off, it was very MSS sided. So sounds like we missed out on a banger, but there's not much we can do if low res just will not show us the game. But we're gonna try to get back into game two whenever they get their P's and B's up and ready to go, and then we will see if game two actually allows us to cast it. Welcome back to take two of MSS versus TKC. As mentioned earlier, Smite decided to drop a stinky, and we were not able to finish the game one spectate. So hopefully there's absolutely no pauses in this game because even though it is a high res mechanic, it is apparently not functioning. TKC did end up taking the first game, though, and what appears to be a pretty big comeback based on where we were left off at 13 minutes. But going into game two here, TKC up 1-0. Going to go ahead, ban the Terra, ban the Chalk, MSS banning the Phantom Amon again, the Kama, and the Odin. So very similar bands, except we decided to sprinkle in a little Odin. So the Odin apparently really rebounded enough to the point where he went, you know, unbanned but still top picked to now for sure banned.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the impact it had, but I assume it seems like it was big enough for them to want to ban it.
I mean, we talked about it, right? Behind, ahead, even, with leap, without leap, Odin's a problem. But because we banned the Odin this time, the X Ball goes unbanned, and unfortunately does not go to Kazar, the known X Ball one trick, going to go ahead and go over to Evan, who did not have to leave from what I'm seeing here. So we do actually get the full 5v5 experience. Um, Big news.
Big
And
news.
looking like it's going to be a Jing Chan and Kakolan frontline for TKC. Yeah, we lost Odin, so we stole your solo laner from you.
Seems fair enough.
I mean, if you're gonna take mine, I'm gonna take yours, right? TKC did go with the same bands though, so apparently nothing on MSSN really had them particularly worried after game one. That or have seen those three gods be a bigger problem than what they thought they felt in game one. So
Yep.
uh,
I figure we'll see Kazar on the Cupid again, just as the hunter with the most ability to lane into X Ball.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. X-Ball obviously a really good pick, but not a whole lot of inherent safety, especially compared to the Charybdis. You know, you go under the ground, CC immune alt that outpaces everybody around you. Then the standard beads Aegis, I'm assuming. Cupid going to cripple the X-Ball and turning off the lights, not going to help you run out of a stun. So got that going for him if he does decide to re-lock in the Cupid. But we MSS really thinking about picks 4 and 5 here. Hopefully, trying to cook up something diabolical like a Bakasura solo. It would be absolutely horrendous here, but it would still be fun to see. So I'm all for it. It won't be though. These Jotun guys sweat too hard. Bring me back to Midgard, where people play bad picks because they think they're good.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Too many
Osai
people
is
in
like,
Midgard
you know,
pick what's supposedly meta. Comfort pick rules all.
yeah, bring back Pele support, man.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Pele
it's
belongs
going
in
to
all
be
five roles.
no, stop it. Now it's gone too far. Now it's gone too
She
far.
definitely belongs in solo. I think she cooks there.
Pele can definitely play solo, especially in Midgard. But Osai and Baba Yaga going to be the two picked for the MSS. So going away from the Huang this time, and since Cullen taken from Goyed and taking the Osai, which, to be fair, I did say Baka. They're both auto attack. No similarities outside of that, but they are both auto attack. So I'm going to take that as a win and a correct prediction, even though I really shouldn't. TKC getting the Hera at pick 6 and immediately going into a Nike ban.
I'm still
So
wondering when we're going to see the Baki Kujir come out.
hopefully never is probably the correct answer. Hopefully never.
He definitely should. That god is OP.
Who are you seeing play
Nothing
this
nothing is
god?
as good of content as humping around.
And just like that, our Twitch was age restricted. It was that
Oh, he's
fast.
humping. He's humping.
TKC going to ban the Nike, worried about the Osai flex, going to go ahead and get rid of another annoying solo laner, or another annoying warrior, I guess I should say, in the Nike MSS, getting rid of the hum bots. Was not played in game one, but I mean, you see Humbats get played 2 or 3 times. You've seen them play 600 times. They all do the same thing.
Yeah. Also got a pretty good matchup into a Hera who has no in-kit CC immunity.
Yep. And the Kuzembo going to be gone. Probably pretty much along the same lines. Wait, I just realized. No, hold up. Humbats was banned by the team that's against the Hera, and so was the Neja.
Oh,
Veroxas steering me in the wrong direction.
look,
Can't believe
I'm a
it.
little
Never going to
confused.
forgive him. Yeah, I'm confused as well. But I did watch the team that was against a tier ban Ares in Midgard, so it's still not that bad. Uh, the team that banned Ares also won that set, so that's definitely not as bad. But going to be a Nejah last ban for MSS. The Kuzan build, like we talked about for TKC, now waiting on MSS to lock in, or excuse me, TKC to lock in their seventh pick here of this P and B. Looking like
There's the
it's going
Cupid.
to be the Cupid again. Yeah. MSS not banning any of the hunters away. I mean, talking about things you've seen once, you've seen 600 times. You see Kazar in dual lane, you know he's going to drop third damage on his team. He's going to be a last hit demon. The one fight we actually got to see him get a kill in last game, proving that
Was the
uh,
last hit. He
it
also
was
did
the
last
last
hit the
hit.
Gold Fury.
And he last hit the Gold Fury. Oh my God, three of them in the same
Last
clip.
hit Bandit.
Last hit Bandit. MSS going to relock in the Emoja and steal the Lancelot from TKC, which leaves TKC with the last and final pick here. Jungler, I'm assuming jungler, able to see the entire enemy team, so hopefully has somewhat of an idea of where he's going, especially with the Osai flex potential gone. Definitely going solo now, I would assume. Lancelot can solo, but why
Not
restrict
very
him?
well.
Yeah, why restrict him to solo when he could just gank solo?
His horse MS is sort of redundant when he's not roaming around.
Yeah, I agree. Um, TKC really thinking about this one, but no obvious answers apparently as they
This is one tale you don't want
debate
to
it, and
chase,
then
darling.
Excuse me, Sirket being locked in immediately, not even hovered. So I guess they were debating it right up until the end. But it's going to be a Sirket pick last year for TKC. Rounding out, I mean, another super CC heavy draft. Not as heavy as the first game, but still a lot of CC. We see the Jing Chan Cupid again. Harry, Jesus, Hera having the polymorph doesn't exactly hurt either. Kukulkan getting a knock up, a root, a push. The standard warrior stuff, all in one. And then Cirquette also having a bit of CC of her own.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Um,
Circuit's definitely known for her little bit of CC and her little bit of
what are you
mobility.
talking about? What are you talking about? I thought we were known for crit numbers and building
That
Deathbringer
too.
first item because we're gamers.
I better not see a Deathbringer.
Okay. Um, if you had to jump in on any of these teams right now as their jungler, what team comp are you looking at, like ideally here? Like, who are you taking based off picks?
Um, it's a great question. I think I'm looking at TKC a little better. I think their comp is going to scale pretty hard, and they've got huge team fight presence with the Kiko and Jingchen front line, and Hera Cupid is a pretty solid back line.
Yeah, it's a lot of safety, especially when you consider the fact that one of those two picks is a Hera, right? Like
Yeah.
either way, you got to find a way to dive past or around this Jing Chen Kakolan. You got to hope Serket doesn't spot you on the flank because Serket late game in a 1v1 situation is going to be very, very oppressive if they can be in an even or possibly a head state.
And
And then
Cirquette is
Cupid,
seeming like she's going to have a lot of space to just, do a
yeah,
lot of what she wants
yeah, Jing
and
Chen and
find some
Kakolan are going to
picks.
pave a football field
Yeah.
for Serket to play in. Um, but Hera also as well. I mean, if you're Lancelot, you run at this Hera, you go to leap off horse or do whatever you're doing into a polymorph, a Cupid hard bomb, possibly even a Cupid alt. That's not great for you, like at all.
Yep.
But we just got word from production that everyone is loaded in, so we're gonna go ahead and transition. And looks like once again, no crazy shocking surprises. Everyone going where we expected them to. No random Osai ADC, Kazar Cupid solo, or anything super fun like in the Midgard sets. Or super
Lame.
bad, depending on how you want to look at it. Especially since the last cast that we did was an X Ball Charybdis on the same team,
Don't remind
two
me.
back-to-back games.
Don't remind me.
So standard standard starts, standard builds, standard positions. But I think I agree with you. TKC going back to the comp where you're kind of hoping, hey, if you get ahead in lane, great. But we're not playing for lane, like we're playing for that 5v5, that fire giant pit, everything on the line. Um, I've got Cupid ult. You know what I mean? Like X Ball probably going to have a pretty solid lane. Um, but Cupid just hopefully going to have more impact with the more utility in his gear, or more gear in his utility. I don't know how I would say that actually. Now that I've said it out loud,
More?
uh,
I'm a little
yeah, he's
confused
got
as to what you
more.
mean.
Yeah, I don't know either. I've kind of lost it myself to be completely honest with you. I've lost the plot. But duo going to be more trading, more poke, and once again going to just have a Umoja and make everything useless and pointless. Solo though, uh,
A Cullen in
Osai,
rage, losing pressure.
yeah, I was gonna say Osai level 2 beating out a Kakolin in rage level 2. Uh, that's that's I think anything but standard at this point. I mean, Osai probably has a couple hundred health lead here. Going to just straight up engage on this Kakolin through the wave with all of the archers shooting at him.
It's a lot of archers. He's got to be a little extra careful because
Yeah,
they could just shred him completely.
I mean, Kakolin is already all out of health pots, assuming he's got, one or two of them ticking. But now Icicle Buff's going to blink in, get a massive pushback on the Serket, who is running away with one health. Baba trying to chase him down as Lance swaps target to Demon Teddy on the Hera. Baba tries to throw the one, get the silence, misses, hits him with the potion. Serket and Hera both running from Ice Steel Buffs now. Hera going to go down to the Lancelot. Baba still on the prowl, but Lancelot leaving the engagement as Baba continues to chase Serket through the jungle. But what are the odds you're going to catch a Serket with mana? None, as Serket hits one of their 75 dashes and gets out of range. But an early first blood
In the
for
solo
this
lane.
Lancelot in the
No.
solo. The solo got the kill first.
Solo got the kill first.
Jesus. So Osai does get the first blood on the Kokolin. Lancelot gets the second blood, not as valuable, but yeah, I mean, hey, you still
Blood
got
is
a chance
blood.
to say you got the kill. Yeah, blood is blood. So Jungle and Solo off to an early lead again for this MSS team. Didn't translate to a win for them last game, but hopefully going to translate to a little bit better of an outcome for them in this one. And
Yep. Just looking to be a little more active on the early Multiman Kings from TKC. They can't really let MSS really run them down.
well, we do have the Kokolin on our side now, right? So like hopefully not just going to get straight up abused by the level 5 Kokolin and have no say in the matter as Jin Chan solo invades MSS's purple in front of their duo lane. It is now on the verge of being caught out by Lance, going to throw the horse at him, but Jing just going to double leap on out of there. Lance not even going to get the roaming harpy, but now Baba in trouble as they all trying to get away, but Hera proving a little too much for him this time, going to get the kill on the Baba. Demon Teddy off. Oh wait, no, Serket got it actually. Serket talking about last hit champions. I think maybe hit the leap on the way in
He
and killed
did.
Baba. That is brutal. Teddy Teddy used everything to get that kill, and Booming just says mine and gets it.
Ooh.
Osai
Tragic
dropping what
miss
would have
out
been
from
his
the
second.
Osiris. He would have killed him if he didn't miss the scythe there.
That is that is brutal. Kokolin already backing again, his second back in 4 minutes. Not going to feel great, especially Osai already up here. Now going to hopefully get this wave under tower, uh, getting him almost a full, maybe even 2 level lead. Duo with a little bit more trading. Corbin just in the face of Evan here on the X ball, and not much happening with it. Jing Chan with War Flag, big threat. Not at level 4 though. He did just tick over to level 5, so maybe a little some extra happening there, especially with mental waiting, and it doesn't seem like MSS has any idea that he's there. Corbin leaping in again on this Umoja appears to be the target. Serket comes around the island and goes all in, ulting the Umoja. Umoja trying to throw up the waves, but not going to save him as Jingchan ults him back, not even able to throw him before the Umoja goes down. So in this game, now TKC has the duo lead, getting an early kill on this Umoja, but MSS countering it with a first Bull Demon King, not contested, also not warded. So TKC may be having an idea, but probably not, especially you're calling already under his tower line here for most of the game. But now he's going to rotate out on this Lancelot. Lancelot getting caught, pathing way too aggressively. Serket
Yep.
having backed and immediately ran over to that solo side, just waiting for him as he came around that corner. I mean, Kakolin close enough to get the assist, but I don't even think Serket needed him.
Serket now going for an invade on the red buff. Will get it and will just swiftly get away. Unfortunate for the Baba Yaga, who's already fallen a little behind.
I will say, like, MSF once again got off to a great start, but TKC didn't wait till 10 minutes to get back in the game, like in game one with the Gold Fury steal, the double kill. I mean, the moment MSS had a successful play, TKC went and tried to look for a play in all 3 lanes, just back to back. We got the kill in mid, we go over to duo, we get the kill on Umoja, we come over to solo, we get Lance. I mean, Serket has been
I
everywhere,
mean,
and so far it's
exactly.
worked everywhere. Besides that
Has
first,
been
I
part
think
of
what
all three
40-second
kills.
that 40-second fight in the Fire Giant pit. I mean, everything outside of that has come up roses for Serket.
Yep, she's been part of all 3 kills in 3 different lanes.
And somehow Lance still has a level lead. I hate Smite.
Farm is
Serket needs
farm.
to be rewarded.
He's
Serket needs to be
Lance has
rewarded.
split a couple more waves and been on his camps a little earlier, I guess. But that's the sacrifice of a jungler for putting your laners up.
But now Corbin coming up behind Baba. He does have ult. Not going to use it though until Baba uses her 3. Now he's going to alter while she's under tower. Baba going to go into the house for the CC immunity. And now Corbin on the chopping block as Lancelot commits his ult as well, going to finish him up. Hera tried to drop Argus, not going to be enough to save him. Lancelot running away through the jungle, not going to be able to catch the horseman on his horse, especially with that yellow halo around him. Just going to be the fastest person on the map if Serket's not the one dashing.
Yep, by far the fastest. And he'll only get faster as the game goes on and he kills more camps. Bullyman
Now,
here being looked at by the King's Court, but both frontliners are there to challenge. Doesn't
yeah,
look like it's going to
calling
get an
late on the
ult in
rotate.
from the Osiris. Doesn't quite get the kill on the Serket. Kukulin
Yeah,
rotating in.
going to get the push on this Osai, put him out of position, but Baba hitting a huge pot to finish off the Serket. Now Lance is there as well, going to put Terminator back on the chopping block. Lance not having the ult after killing in mid, but Baba going to get him with the pot over the wall, the throwaway. It's just as Terminator thought he was going to be safe, gets
The
hit
fadeaway
over the
3.
wall. Jesus, that's rough. TKC, we talked about, or I said something about it earlier, not wasting any time trying to get back, trying to get something for the death. But that time, just talking about everything working great for Serket. That one going the complete opposite. Lose Bull, lose 2, lose some more. Relics on your side as well. Kakolin's
And
TP going to
now
go
you're
down
down 2k.
again. I mean, at this point, Kakolin's. I don't want to be that guy, right, and say a solo is ever out of the game, especially if you're Colin. I mean, at the end of the day, if you change your rage well enough, like it may just work out. Like if Osai is too late on a back one time, or you get one favorable gank, especially as Kakolin, it can just flip, right? You have the ability as Kakolin. Uh, but man, it's not looking great. Not into an Osai, not with the Frostbound online. We've already got, a lead gold wise. I'm sure he's probably got another 1,000 plus in his hand as he backs here. Looks like he's going to get that tier 2 for no tier 3 for Glad, excuse me.
Oh wow.
And he's back in the lane. I thought he had 1,000 gold. I didn't think he had 2 grand.
Yeah.
But he
Huge
did.
item diff now. He can take
Yeah.
absolutely any fight he wants, especially even into the rage.
Yeah,
And he'll just
I
get
don't know
more
if
and more
Coquelin
ahead, farming
wins.
off neutrals.
I don't know if Coquelin wins any trade now, which feels even worse for him. Tier 2, something can go right for you. Tier 3, Glad though, he has to make the mistake. There's no outplay angle here. The item diff is just massive.
Mhm.
Um, Especially with Terminator not having the rage stacked up because he just died and TP'd back to lane. But now Corbin on the wrong side of the enemy team purple buff, mental with him, going to dash out at Serket. But now Osai TP'd over, ulting over the wall. Serket trying to ult Emotion to throw him out, but not going to be enough to save him. Crushing Waves goes down, kills the Serket, and immediately translates into an MSS Gold Fury pool. Corbin sees it. Kazar is there. Can we get another Heart Bomb Cupid
He's gonna ult it.
steal?
A
We
little
don't.
too late there,
Yeah, a little too late on the
unfortunately.
alt, but I mean, I don't blame him for trying to play that a little scared. But now Lance is already back over here on this Bull Demon King, immediately all in on the Hera, who drops Argus on him. Coquelin going to talking about all those extra abilities, hitting him with about 4 of them to get him down. But now the rest of MSS starting to show up. Baba and Umoja making their way into the pit. And it looks like Coquelin may be on the chopping block for it. Baba ulting, trying to hit him with over the wall with the house. Hits him twice, not going to pick up the third to get the kill. But now Baba out of position, using his beads to get rid of the Serket taunt. But Jing Chan going to ult him back. Serket and Jing still there, but now there's 3 MSS at the TKC blue, and now Corbin is in danger. Serket going to dash through the entire 3 stack of MSS, finish off the Baba, and it ends up being a 2 for 0, and whatever team ended up getting bull. I mean, you can't tell with these spectators anyway. Speaking of high res,
Yeah.
but man,
But yeah, great trades
something like
for
that.
the Mystic Sea Serpents.
Yeah, even if
It's
you
just,
lost bull, that's just a win.
yeah, absolutely.
Getting a death on Baba, letting Teddy get a little bit of a level lead here, possibly even a full level. This Baba just now respawning, and you get another death on the Lancelot, trying to keep Serket in the game. Because like you said, Lancelot ahead early. I mean, we can just start running maps. But it looks like it is about a level and a half lead still for this Lance. Not great.
Yep. Going
And him
into an early
soloing all these
serrated.
camps, not going to help either.
Yeah. The Baba with the Warlock Staff definitely will be a little harder to kill. I don't think it'll help too much into all the circuit damage with follow up from the Hera, but we'll have to see. Getting zoned out, TKC grouping on the beacon, being challenged by MSS.
No, Osai blinking in
Osiris
on the
blinks
Hera.
in, pushes Teddy out. Both
Serket
ADCs
dropping
on
an
the
ult
way
on
in.
Baba. Just barely getting out with his life. Coquelin trying to finish it off with the in-rage, going to get his Aegis, going to get his life. Serket ult down, having to back after eating all the poke. Umoja throwing Crushing Wave on the beacon, trying to zone off the rest of TKC. But now Iceal buffs caught at the enemy team chest camp. He's going to go down. Terminator left all alone as everyone claps Lancelot. He goes down. Now Demon Teddy's next. Both relics down, and he also goes down. Gray screen. And now Corbin walking back up as the lone Jing Chan into this Osai Umoja bear, finds out very quickly he does not want to be there. Goes back to his tower line, giving the beacon to the Umoja. Now, even more combat. Evan dashing in on this Cupid, but Serket's sitting there waiting for him, going to get his beads, but that's just
What
not enough to
hair
save you.
timing of the dash in. Serket was just waiting. Bull likely going to be picked up here by MSS, and seems like they'll just be pushing their lead even further.
Guys, we made it past 13 minutes. We made it past.
That's
Shout
a
out high
success.
res.
That's progress.
No pauses, so we cannot crash. This time last game, though, TKC was up 10 kills and 4K. or not TKC,
And
MSS, excuse me. So
they just gotten a 4K and secured a beacon.
Lancelot lancing after, ulting after Cupid now. Kazar being caught out a little bit. Serket tried to leap in, not going to get there in time. Misses the taunt, misses the dash as well. Now in danger. Going to ult the Lancelot, try to create a little space for himself, it looks, as he does the ring around the Rosie on this giant pillar. And immediately goes back into the top. But now Yamoza on his way, saw by Corbin. So Serket going to leap out and continue to do ring around the Rosie with his Lancelot. Going to beads as well, but not enough to save him as he goes down. Now Jing Chan trying to clean up the Lancelot kill at least. Going to ult, going to kill him with the Bridwin Brock. So it ends up being a 2-for-1. Lancelot at least goes down, but he gets a double out of it. And now Hera and Kukulkan tower diving this level 13 Osai. Hera going to get the kill. Hera's level 15.
And
tied
now
with his own
is
Cupid
ahead
and
of
Lance.
the Osai.
MSS going to transition this into a Gold Fury pull right in front of Corbin. Kazar once again making his way up. So far, we have seen one go to MSS, one go to TKC. But Crushing Waves going to go out. Cupid Fields of Love also going to go out. Corbin goes down. Kazar forced to back up the house from Baba, proving too big of a zoning tool. But now Kukulkan coming around the back end on the TP, but he loses half his health bar before he can throw two abilities, leaping out for safety. And MSS going to disengage, take their kill, take their gold, make their way back to their own green and purple. And seeing as no one else is in any other lane to fight, we can possibly breathe for a little bit before the next tower diver invade.
Yeah. Although with the Pyromancer coming up, I doubt we'll have too long of a break.
I'll take a drink while I can. Man. 21 kills in 15 minutes. I mean, we didn't see the rest of game one, so, maybe it also picked up there as well. But we were 14 kills at 13 minutes in game one, so assuming it followed that pattern, it's like a 6-7 kill difference in the same amount of time. That's insane. Pick up of pace.
Both teams have just been fighting constantly.
And even with those additional kills, still trying to swallow as we get into this Pyromancer fight that's sure to happen as everyone seems to come and hover it. But even at that increase of pace, TKC actually has less kills. It's MSS has less kills. But as I'm trying to talk, Serket going to throw abilities but dash out, so I'm going to pretend that didn't happen and keep talking. TKC is more than quadrupled their kills though, but now Serket being caught by the Emotion 1, going to get stunned. Osai turning his target to the Hera, going to get Jingchan ulted. He's under tower now. Serket ulting him even deeper under tower, but Yamoja's rebuke going to pull him out of that. An insane rebuke by Yamoja. It throws Crushing Wave now to separate, trying to buy his Osai a little bit of space. That was an insane rebuke. Insane. Acer Refugee earning every starting very low minute
out of that tower.
But now Osai caught out of position again, looking back at his Jumoja like, hey, can you do it twice? But TKC not committing nearly as hard this time. All the ults already used. And Lance not dashing at Kukulkan. Just a whole lot of weird tower line poking from all of these melee characters. And then Baba is just throwing a little bit of pot damage at the top of it to add to those stats. Jing Chan going to hit a knock-up on the Osai and Yamoja as this MSS team walks in 4 deep in this tower. Osai going to ult down on Corbin as he tries to leap out. Going to get the tower. Now looks like we're transitioning to a pyro. But as I say that, Lancelot snaking around to their mass camp. Corbin sees it, but does he see everyone else on the pyro? He's walking down to it, going to get eyes. But even if he sees it, no one there to help contest with him. Instead, turns his attention to Lance, who already finished the mass camp.
In a very bad position.
No, Lance
only Osiris rotating in, but Buffs might just get the kill on his own.
Yeah, Lance all alone, but the damage.
He's out of mana, cannot cast the up-down and get the kill.
Osai going to at least come in and ensure that he's not punished by this Kukulkan. But as all of this goes down, Serket blinks in on the on the X-Ball. X-Ball going to Beads. Aegis save his own life, but still half health. Emoji trying to get some healing onto him as Baba pops the ult, going to throw some fire bombs from this house. And Hera going to barely get away. Then the Kukulkan's in the beacon. He got a 3-man knockup, but no follow-up for him. A little too far ahead of his team. Osai counter-ulting on top of him, but now TKC is here. Serket and Jing Chan turning their attention to them, but that's a level 15 Osai. You're not doing any damage. Now Corbin caught out as Serpent runs for their life, and Corbin once again getting autoed down by this Osai, just trying to live, give him a chance. But then TKC comes in again out of the side gank, and they're going to kill Osai. I don't think TKC has done a single straight up fight yet. Everything is engage, disengage, flank, engage, disengage, flank, engage. Every
Yeah,
single fight. They
sounds
have
about
left,
right, and it really
rejoined,
fits
left,
their
and
team
rejoined.
comp with
It's
the
working.
Circuit. She gets to do what she wants.
I
She gets to
agree.
cause havoc, disengage, and come back for more.
I agree. 100%. MSS, they keep trying to chase these guys down, but it's just into an ambush every time. TKC going to get the Gold Fury a little bit of additional poking, but they're starting to look around, realize Corbin has less health than the Hunter does right now, and just going to disengage. MSS going to get the Pity Oracles on the Gold Fury that has already been dropped.
Yeah, fantastic map control from TKC. They're really playing the map incredibly well, although they're still behind in gold,
I just
even
saw
after
that too.
taking more objectives.
Never rewarded, man. Never
Right.
rewarded. We get the
Onywave's pushing
fights,
through
we get
side
the
lanes.
kills, and it's just still a goal deficit. Unbelievable. But level wise, outside of jungle, TKC is even in everything, and I love that. I don't know why there's a 3 level lead discrepancy. I'm assuming, like you said, Circuit farm is king. We've seen Lancelot drop a whole bunch of these camps, usually split with the mid laner by himself. Looking at the red to split with X Ball as we speak.
Yeah, splitting farm in this game incredibly effective. You know, doing a camp on your own, you get 100% of the farm. Splitting it, you each get 60% of the farm. So it's just printing an extra 20%.
I still Buffs deciding to translate that into 100% in a 2 level lead at this point, a full 2 levels as well, almost 2.5. MSS, I mean, threw a couple autos at fire, but that was a little too bold even for them at this point. Only a 4K gold lead. I don't know if we just pull that in front of 5 at 21 minutes or 4, excuse me, because our in the duo lane getting a little bit of his farm with a purple. Most importantly, left the green up though. Toxic
Yeah,
ADCs everywhere you go. Like what? Jing Chan's gonna go solo that now?
it
That's
was
how we
worth it
treat
for
the
him.
#1 pick in the draft. We make him drop his own green buffs.
Well, he hit 20 and got his
Unbelievable.
starter.
Unbelievable.
Unfortunately, he's still about 3 rage stacks behind. So, not going to have as much damage output on the crit side, but basic attack damage wise from the starter, he should be making up that gap.
Is he going into a dominance 6
Dominance.
item? Yeah,
Most
okay.
likely dominance.
No, Osai gonna get hit with about 5 abilities still, or excuse me, Emoja. Only gonna lose about half their health, and now immediately throw their heal on Evan to get a little bit of that health back. Still half health though, as TKC look to pull this pyro. Well, not look if we're already full on it and it's one shot. But MSS going to end up stealing it with either Osai autos or Emoja ability. I don't know what's worse. Kakalin was the zoner caught out because his team couldn't secure and lost the fight afterward, crushing waves, creating an insane wall that TKC simply cannot go through. Corbin going down, Kazar going down. They get Evan on the turnaround. Serket trying to get Ice Steel buffs as well, but he's not going to get it. Deicide for MSS. They're not looking at
Yep.
the Fire Giant just yet. No,
Splitting
instead
up.
going to go down to tier 2.
They unfortunately don't have a hunter, so taking the bird will be a little difficult. They do have a bomb, so they can't expend that.
Do
Kikolan
have a
up
bomb
in
and do
5
have wave
seconds.
too.
Jingchen up in very soon after that. Are they
Have
going to
bomb,
use the
have
bomb?
wave.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to keep it.
Okay. Didn't need it apparently, so I guess props to Osai with the bomb discipline, not dropping it there. That's the difference between a Midgard and Jotun player.
I would have used it.
I miss the Phoenix with bomb. He just holds it, so it's way better. Looks way better stats wise anyway. So we're just gonna let that one play out. Ice Steel buffs going for a blue invade at 23 minutes, just to rub it in Kokolin's face a little bit longer. Haha, I own you. Not nice. Not nice.
Very
Louis a
sad.
cool guy. I can't believe this has happened. Osai dropping red speed with X Ball. So farming going on everywhere, just not even remotely correct based off rolls.
Farm is farm. The
Farm is
map,
farm.
do the map on cooldown. If the farm is up, take it.
Well, we were talking earlier, TKC even Yamoji even at one point, or not Yamoji, Hera even at one point ahead, but now Hera down a level, X or Jing Chan down a level, Serket down 2 still, Solo down 1, and both ADCs hit 20, so their levels don't matter anymore anyway.
Yep. Now they can do exactly what they've been building up to this entire time. Hold left click and watch things die.
We've reached peak smite. Worth noting, however, X-Ball able to finish that rage after that deicide. Kazar picking up an additional stack, but still obviously not not fully stacked. MSS only lost one player that entire fight, so hard to get 5 stacks out of 1 kill.
Yeah. I assume he'll be looking to get a stack this fight. Hopefully they can get a couple kills and he can scale a little harder. It always feels rough not having your stacks up 25 minutes into the game.
Well, he did go it an entire item later than the X-Ball did. I don't know how much stacks. I mean, X-Ball had the 3 additional stacks before last fight. I don't know how many he would have gotten in lane when he had it built, but he did have it. Um, and I'm not sure. I didn't see it if it did happen. Um, you can also proc X-Ball ult and just get assists from cross map in lane 2. So
You
maybe
can
why he got it
indeed.
a little bit earlier. But MSS going to pull this fire in front of the entire TKC. TKC calling going to blink in, get some ults down, crushing waves, trying to zone him off. But MSS ends up dropping it. But in the back, Lancelot gets a kill on Kazar. I steal buffs. And the Osai running insane, rampant in the back line. Is calling zones, but for absolutely nobody. His team dying behind him following shortly thereafter, trying to get out. Jin Chan going to ult. I steal buffs under the tower to get that return kill, going to turn it into a 1-4-2. But you've lost your ADC, you've lost your solo, they lost their jungle. Fire Giant still just on the map
Yeah,
for
definitely
MSS
should
right
be
now.
picked up here by MSS. Their X-Ball's got his stacked
They're
rage, he's
looking at
got
Pyro.
his items, but I'm a little curious as to why they're just not pulling the fire.
Maybe a little nervous.
Maybe they want
X-Ball
the bomb for
beads
secure.
down. We had a bomb. We've got 2 now. But they got the pyro first, and now they're going straight back into fire again. Maybe they just plan to hold this for 20 seconds so I steal buffs can get it, or I steal bald as the kids call them in Discord. But Corbin zoning and doing everything Colin just did, just with a whole lot less efficiency. Those builds are very different. Serket going to leap on the X ball, but immediately dashing out for safety, and now he is being hit by the house. Baba going to hit 2 or 3 of the ults, but Serket ended going to survive in the end. Crushing wave coming out, but Evan still goes down. Demon Teddy hitting him with the ability. He's going to finish him off inside a crushing wave, and now TKC in full
TK
control of the
takes the
fire pit,
fire
going to
giant.
get it. And Hera using the Argus to try to zone X-Ball down. No one really there to stop him as he just walks forward. The entire MSS team going to back up.
Yeah, great awareness from TKC to just walk in, put some pressure on them, let them walk out, and take the fire giant for themselves. Serket could have gone in, done a little more, but she just stuck to the fire, used her crit, and now they have it on 5, and they can just get ready for a siege, clean up some towers.
Yeah, don't really need to worry about Serket possibly dropping a kill on the dive when you've got Demon Teddy outside of their tier 1 throwing abilities into the Pyromancer pit for about 800 per. Still able to get the X ball even without Serket on it, on the Fire Giant, like you said, just critting it down. But now we are up as 5, but because TKC, those death timers a little shorter than I Steal buffs, all 5 of them actually end up getting this fire, and they translate that into a primal before they start to group. Looks like 4 going to go in left. Serket blinking in on X-Ball, hitting him with a taunt, going to get X-Ball's beads, trading Relic for Relic. But if you're X-Ball, you're a little bit more sad that your beads are down instead of Serket's blink.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's pretty clear dive target on this siege.
Going to back,
He's
finish
going to
up a
have to
little bit more of
preemptively
his
dash,
build.
but he's got to be on it. He's got to be very aware of the Serket. He's got to track her
Well,
and keep
Colin's
his
2 feet
distance.
in the side here, but Baba maybe seeing both him and Serket, maybe just as Serket as Colin walks up behind the entire 4 stack of MSS underneath the tower. Crushing Wave going to zone him out, so he's in danger, but that tower is gone. Argus is down. Fields of Love hitting 3, getting the beads and the ult out of just about everybody else. Serket going to go down before the Baba, however. Now it's turned into a 4v5. TKC on the back foot trying to get out. Corbin trying to zone, BD sacrifice for his team sins, but also still possibly getting out. Lancelot going to ult, close the distance, throw the horse, slow him, knock him back. Corbin goes down, but now TKC had turned around, tried to help him. Now Cupid, Hera in danger. The stun from Osai going to get out, get Demon Teddy. So Fire Giant push turning into a tier 2 tower, but now possibly a deicide for this TKC team as they run for their lives. Now Lance blinking over the wall straight on the Khazar. Terminator trying to throw some abilities, help him out, but he's not in range. There's not a whole much CC there for him to use. Khazar going to go down. MSS not looking to chase too hard. Lancelot going to do it by himself as the remaining 3 end up going for the tier 2, and Lancelot doesn't need him anyway. Solos Terminator down at the community teleport. MSS pushing down mid, pushing down left, going to re-kill mid-bird, get the tier 2 tower in left, and possibly even in the Phoenix in left. But Serket going to go all in on this. Baba tried to kill him before he can get through the wall, but all of
Exploded.
MSS waiting and exploding him in the doorway. Now we've got 4 deep on this Titan room. Only Corbin up, but I don't think it's up to him whether this game ends or
Should
not.
be a pretty easy end out of here. Picks up the Emoja, but he will fall as well. Hera respawn, maybe able to do some damage,
Bought
but
enough time for
unfortunately the
Hera, but
Titan's HP is a little too low and it will fall. MSS taking game 2 and tying up the set.
well, we managed to make it all the way through a game. So already an immediate upgrade to game 1, which looked like it was a banger. Game 2, also just always fighting. I think we had a minute break right before that first pyro where I said I'd take a drink, and I don't think me and you were able to stop casting for more than 10 seconds for the rest of the game. An insanely good game from this Lancelot, the team captain holding it down, able to get the second game in their favor, force a third. Got a lot of damage out of this Hera. Baba's just 2K ahead of him, trying to keep up. Obviously, Baba House, I mean, especially able to stack that Warlocks for free, able to survive. A little bit harder to dive, even. But Teddy doing what he could 2, 4, and 6, 26.5K. But Lancelot, man, I mean,
Yeah.
13, 5, and 7 with 23K. And that's not those fake potion throwing numbers, right? That's
Nope.
all kills.
I guess that's
Well,
what
not
happens
all
when you give
kills.
buffs his favorite god. I think it's his
Yeah.
favorite god. He always plays it.
Yeah, maybe TKC going to adapt their bands a little bit, make sure that the Horseman is not there anymore, or at least that we're not allowing him to get it. I think he got it. What, pick 5?
He got it pretty
Because
late.
they first picked X Ball.
First picked X Ball, and I believe it was top 3.
I think it was
I'm
too.
not
So pick
100% sure
4 or
though.
5, the Lancelot gets to him, and he drops a 13 and 5 7 game, making sure that they know better than to do that next time. Yamosha also with several just, I mean, fight saving plays, insane alts. The Riptide that saved Osai underneath that tier 1 tower to save that second beacon fight, even. I mean, Osai then overchased and died immediately afterward, but I mean, we still have to give props to Acer Refugee, and thank God that he managed to drop down and be in Jotunn. Shout out vetting team, so he could be a refugee down here against as well. I don't know if I'm
Yep.
allowed to say that. I may not have been able to say that. I'll get in trouble if I get in trouble.
We'll find
But
out. We'll find out soon enough.
very, very tumultuous. There's an SAT word for you. Game 2, both sides having a lead, sometimes even several thousand gold at some point. Ended up going a very, very good siege defense. I don't want to say reverse end. I don't know if TKC ever really ends there, but a reverse siege at the very least, going to get them the win. Veroxas, any thoughts before we transition to a break and I can hopefully take a drink again?
Um, Overall, good game out of MSS. They played the late game pretty well. They got a little bit lucky, not lucky, but they were very fortunate to have a position where they could turn around the siege after their fire giant only got one tower out of them, and they were able to just snowball it and run it down. Don't give buffs Lance. Is about it,
Yeah.
I'd say.
We're not giving buff Lance again, surely, right?
Surely not.
All right. Well, with that one, we're going to go ahead and transition to a break and hopefully have a successful Game 3 spectate as well, and at least give you guys the middle and end of this banger of a set so far. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. absolute shootout of this Jotunn set. TKC MSS tied 1-1 as we go into a game 3 deciding game for who takes the set. And more drinks still opened, hoping and praying for a slower game, but prepared regardless. Shout out Mike's Hard Lemonade. Juan put me on game. Juan Tiflis. Shout out Gun Show. Mike's, if you want to hit us up, get a sponsor. We're available. Just call the number.
I'm sure tons of
TKC.
people are rushing to sponsor Smite streams.
How dare you?
One streams.
I'm putting my heart and soul into this shit, man. How dare you say that to me? TKC going to ban the Chalk and the Ama. Swapping around, going to go ahead and ban the Emotion. Take the Terra number 1. Banned both of the last 2 games. MSS going to ban the Maman. Shout out the Phantom. Kama and Odin once more. And we are stuck in a situation where MSS is going to think about their pick for about 45 to 50 seconds. I lied. Alpwa locked in immediately after I talk smack.
Alpwa top
My
lock.
bad. And the Cupid follow-up. X-Ball's open. Kazar, grab it. You can do it.
A little ambitious, I think, to take their whole backline, especially to pretty unsafe backline.
Yeah, there's the dodgy.
Top 2 in. That's just asking for a dodgy pick.
Yep, there's the dodgy. All right. Are we gonna get a hell out of MSS next? I don't know what's gonna happen here, but Alpwa just immediately went from 16-0 against this Terra to 2-14 with the dodgy. Need some safety for that guy. We may just throw him solo at this point. Tell him to build tanky. Good luck. I don't know what else you do.
X-Ball's
not gonna want to play him in mid.
Wondering if they are gonna take it.
Kazar's taking it right here.
If
wait. I know anything about Kazar, this is hard lock X-Ball. Right now, he is begging on his knees, hands folded up to the sky, eyes closed, praying, and no, don't do it!
And his team is telling him to pick
don't do it! Don't do it. Let my man get his one trick. You've seen him on the Cupid. Now imagine if he actually plays the god. Oh, he's a coward. He's trying to beat the accusations. He's trying to beat the one-trick allegations. I can respect it, but we can't do that in Game 3. This is a Game 1 throw, and he gets Lancelot again. Oh. Not great.
Honestly, despite all this drama, the draft is looking solid on both sides.
Yeah.
Definitely favored towards the dodgy into 2.
Yeah. Just because of the dodgy, honestly. Just because of the dodgy. Because the Alpwa is a hard counter into this Terra.
Mm-hmm.
TKC going to take Rama instead of the X-Ball and let down all 5 fans. Unbelievable. And MSS going to get Lancelot and Priz, all 6 of theirs in the stream. So I Steal Buffs playing to the crowd and also to the win-loss percentage with this Lancelot pick. Going to be a Ganesha ban, followed immediately by an Agni ban as we make our way into these bottom 4 picks and last 2 bans. I had to catch myself on that Terra pick. I legitimately heard myself speaking fast as if I was casting another fight, and I was like, no, it's okay. It's safe.
Just take
here.
A breath. We're good. PNBs are safe.
It's safe here. We can be okay.
They can't fight in PNBs.
Well,
there's no objectives.
Well, I have seen some special stuff happen today down in Midgard. We absolutely can fight outside of the game. Hey, shout out Midgard. Let's go.
Shout out MD Beef.
I'm gonna get a DM from Steen about that one, but that's okay. Nuwa and Cabrakan going to be our last 2 bans here. So TKC taking out 2 very, very, very high play rate Guardians. Definitely don't want to see a Ganesh into this Daji. I don't think there can be anything worse on Daji than hitting your 3 on someone and immediately getting ohmed. It's a beads or die angle for sure. And then Cabrakan with the massive uptick recently in play, going to get banned here. Hadn't been picked or banned all set yet, but not going to take the risk.
That's the Hydra effect of him just building full damage cab support in too many
Yeah.
ranked games.
Yep. That sounds about right. Nuwa going to be banned as well. Also, another god not picked or banned. MSS going to get their OSI on the back end. So running back already, two of the better, if not the two best. Well, no, I won't say two best. Acer at least gets top two for some of them Umoja plays and alts. So two of their
Oh, for
top
sure.
three picks. The other one being banned from them from last game here. And
Yeah.
they also got Cupid because our had a pretty good game on Cupid for TKC game one. Not as much game two, but by the time he rotated out, man, that even state that had been there in the mid game was falling apart.
Yeah. The Yemo definitely seemed to be a little too effective for
Yeah.
TKC to leave it in.
Well, after two games of them just playing very well on it, I mean, set on the line, you just watch them have another great game. Game one and game two aren't flukes. They just did it back to back,
Mhm.
I don't hate swapping it and getting a different band in there for sure. But
Morgan Le
now
Fay locked in.
MLF,
I really like the pick. I think the god is incredibly strong
I
with
agree.
a lot of self peel,
Hmm.
and
And they hovered the
Wukong
Sun
coming in at the
Wu.
very bottom.
Hovered Sunwoo at pick 5, get him at pick 9 instead. Talk about value. Now imagine if they just grabbed X Ball at pick 5.
That's what
Then
I'm saying.
Kazar would have been at least 2 times the player that he's about to be on this Rama.
He's a self-proclaimed X-Ball one
You know?
trick.
Well, it's not proclaimed if it's true. It's a self-admitting one trick.
Self-confessed.
Self-confess. That's a good one.
Akumba Karna.
Kumba Karna. I love it.
I
I
hate
know I
that god.
called for
I
Baka
ban him
solo
in every
earlier.
ranked game.
I called for Bakasura earlier, and Kuba may get a little bit more play than Baka, but not much. So I am all for it. We get to see some gods that we have not seen all set. Aopwa, Kumba, MLF, Daji, Terra, Rama, Sunwoo. The only three gods that have been played at all this set are Cupid, Lance, and Osai. Cupid and Lance have been in both.
Yep. Completely fresh team for TKC.
It looks like a different identity too, not full in on this. Hey, we should just lose lane and play team fight. Uh, Sunwoo is playing for lane, and if he can get ahead, great. He's got a whole lot of inherent safety on his dive too. Do not get confused as if I am saying his dive is bad. Do not take that the wrong way. But Sunwoo is so much stronger in lane than Odin, or at least to my poopy, hard stuck, wet paper bag 7 self, it is. That's just my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll get some random GM from Acer that DMs me and says, well, actually, according to the statistics, Shen Wukong, I don't care. We're talking about my gold level
No
obbies, man. I'm
nerds.
doing
All
what I
right.
can. I'm doing what I can. All I have is gold plus. All right. I'm doing my best. Couldn't find any Jotunn's players for this, so now I'm stuck. But MLF, like you said, I agree. Lot of self peel. Osai wants to go in on you in the stun. He can't do that if he's feared and knocked back.
Yep. And a couple bit of extra CC just for the Lance horse.
Veroxas, you made it all the way to game 3 before someone went in Twitch chat and said that they are letting anyone cast now because you're
Yeah, that's
involved.
Starry. Don't listen to him. He's a bum.
All right, shout out all my bums as we wait to load into game 3 here. 7 unique picks, 3 runbacks, 2 of them already belonging to MSS who won the last round. MSS trying to stick to that winning path. TKC scrapping the whole plan and going all in. Should be another amazing set. Just I could do with like 2 or 3 less team fights a minute. We can keep it at the standard 1 or 2 team fights every 5. It's okay.
That's fine. How about one team fight per objective? Can we agree?
I'm fine with that.
That's fine.
I would be a-okay with that. The
Unfortunately, Bull
problem
Demon's
is
up every 2 minutes.
exactly.
But
We're gonna be
and when Bull
rotating
Demon's
Bull
not up,
Demon
it's gonna
Bull
be
Fury
Beacon. And when
fights.
it's not Beacon, it's
Yep.
Gold. And when it's not Gold, it's Pyro.
So what I'm hearing is it's chalked. We're doomed.
Uh-huh.
All right, in production, Red Rosie Panda, shout out, letting us know that we are ready to go into game 3. So we're go ahead. once again, nothing fun, nothing surprising.
No
We're
Kumba
just
solo.
stuck. No Kumba solo, no Cupid jungle. What are we doing, man? This has
Exactly.
been an
Like
absolute banger set. Probably the closest, most contested one I've casted. Shout out our last cast. But man, I missed the goofy stuff now that I've seen it. It was miserable casting it. But now it's like the good old days, you know? Back when I could say
maybe
that
these
I'm
other
better than the
divs
players doing it. Now I'm
maybe
stuck
these
watching
other divs
players
ought to
that are better
try.
than us, and we're stuck.
Yeah. The other divs ought to
Everyone's
try
playing right.
double hunter with X ball mid every game.
I hear it cooks.
Look,
I hear it
it may
cooks.
have a 0% win rate through 2 games,
But
but
man, it cooked.
it could work.
Koopa gonna eat a little bit of extra poke damage. No emotion this time to heal up, so this level 2 damage does matter. Unfortunately, Corbin is getting the worst end of it. So not great for TKC start. Both Guardians going to go ahead and pop a couple pots, and they just have green buff anyway, so it doesn't matter. Osai looks like forcing yet another warrior under tower, but you know, Terminator's health bar still shows green on the left, so must be doing better than last time. Going to be once again another Corbin dash, and
Kumba
now
taking a lot
Acer
of poke,
actually killable.
and
His
his
passive
passive
going
will
to
be
get
taken.
procced. Cupid's trying to stand in front of Rama to eat some autos, but he did not like what he got, dashing out of there, saying, "Hey man, thanks for the emoji plays, but on Kumba, you're the sacrifice, brother,"
Get
and
body
letting that
blocked
man
too
go
much there
down.
at level 2.
Oh no, but it sounds so much worse when I say it's slanderous.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I shouldn't, but you know, it's for the content, for the
Of course.
community. And we do have a jungler on the Naga in solo, but Osai just going to face check in front of both of them. Maybe still
Did not get
convinced
it.
he has the lead from game 2, but doesn't get it, and he is going to end up giving up both neutrals, not getting a friendly jungler rotation to counter, or at least too late. But as I say that, Lancelot coming in, hopefully for a counter engage after both neutrals are dive, going to up down. But you cannot root that bull, so going to be some extra damage for the stats. Not much else, as both junglers appear to be going back to their own mass camps. It's going to end up being a net absolutely nothing for MSS and some neutrals for TKC.
Yep. Pretty standard stuff so far. No invades this time. Doesn't look like too much is going to be happening until some ults come online.
Yeah, no random 2-minute bull demon pulls that transition into a 4v4. Lance also still trying to solo these mid camps, but Daji has a little bit more early game pressure than it looks like Lance bargained for. Going to hit him with that Wombo combo, and now Lance on potentially a death as he's in his own team's blue, and this Daji with no mana is still just chasing. Sun
Just
Wukong going to
barely
come
gets the
over.
horse in time to survive.
Sun Wukong going
But
to
the
come over.
blue is looking like it will be invaded. It did not get out secured
Oh
by
no.
the Osiris.
Osai going to be able to save his own buff. Someone going to hit the Tiger stun. Not going to get too much out of it, though. Lancelot living on absolutely nothing, and Alpois also living on absolutely nothing right now. So apparently a little bit of a scrap in mid that also did not go the way of MSS. But no right harpies for the Lance means that Daji and MLF get to split them. So I guess TKC gets 3 harpies. That's the end result of all of that.
Yeah. So no bull demon taken already. So a bit of a slowdown from game 2.
We don't have our
But I
7th
don't
kill
think,
yet, so
yeah, I don't, I don't think it'll last for too long though. I'm sure these teams will start getting a little more active very soon.
Oh yeah, they're fighting. It's just no one's dying for now. Well, outside of Acer, but that wasn't really. Well, I mean, it's hard to say it's not his fault, right? But he didn't
It's
really
his
have too
support's
much
fault for not
say in
feeling for
it.
him.
Acer is the support Veroxas.
I know. He should have had another support. Seven's
You know
fault.
who I blame? Kazar.
The jungle.
Oh, we're going very different directions there. I was going to say it's Kazar's fault. I can't believe you would auto a man while he's taking a nap. That's just
That's what
toxic.
exactly. Like it's just rude.
Like
Let the
there
man
is
sleep.
no peace in this world anymore. All right. But MSS going to force the Terra to, well, it looks like Terra just backed for item, so I can't really say force if you back and get your full item, right? And it immediately translates into a Bull Demon push. Kumba not backing at the same time as this Terra, so Terra using the out rotation to get a little pressure. Going to pull in
Catches it.
Alpaw after quick Daji ult, getting the Bull, getting the Alpaw kill as well. Alpaw didn't even have to be quick. His beads are down. And it may not have been quick by Jotun standards, but to Midgard, that was lighting. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a
The
kill.
dodges that I see often just, shoot 3 times for the damage.
If they didn't want me to shoot it 3 times, they wouldn't give it 3 shots. That's all I'm saying.
You make an excellent point.
Daji also going to search for a little bit of an invade on this perp green. But Kuma and Lance on a counter rotation here as Daji and Terra face check this jungle straight into a Kuma root onto the Daji. Lance going around on his horse, but gets stunned off by the Terra. Daji going to get a sprint, going to get a Terra ult to try to help peel him out. 3v2 over here. 3v3 as Kazar rolls in on the Rama. Lance going to ult. Rama going to go in the air. I don't think he shot his ult and just comes right back down.
No, he got
Daji
Kumba
still in
ulted.
kill threshold. Oh, he got Kumba ulted.
He
Oh
got
my
Kumba
god, my
ulted.
bad.
He still has his ult.
So we've got Daji running for their life. They're gone now, but now the potential invade for TKC has turned into an MSS for sure invade. They're mid rotating over as well. Upalt going to get down, going to get this Terra. Now Rama in the sky trying to buy himself some time as MLF counter rotates. Throws the ult, possibly getting Cupid, going to miss the third, not getting the kill, getting their purple invaded. So whole lot of ults, one death, and a perp invade.
Yeah.
It's way too much scrapping for this little value.
Yeah, their time likely would have been better spent just farming. Daji here looking at an invade, gonna insta-kill the Cupid off a blink, and now she just gets
so
to
rough.
run and try and take those camps.
Kuba fleeing
Kuba's
away
just
either from
running
the
away.
Daji or his own green. You cannot
He
know
could-
this
he's
early in the
trapped.
game. No, no, not the boss. Kuba
That's
look
tragic.
left, look
Honestly,
right, and it's just Mana Course beating the
to see
brakes out of
Daji
him.
just stop hitting him and let him die to the camps that he cannot clear.
It's going to be a purple for purple, kill for kill end state, but it is the Cupid who goes down. Rama going to see an extra wave or two as well as the neutrals give him a level lead. Dashi Blink going down, but also getting an extra kill, so that's just going to be worth for you every time. Able to keep even with this Lancelot, who is 0-0-1. And across the board, outside of ADC, I mean, everyone even. That Daji level lead is fake. Just ticked over to level 9. So about a half level, maybe even as low as a quarter, as MSS pulls the bull using Alpha ult to zone. Yeah, Terra, don't walk into that. Going to get comboed a little bit, lose about a third of their health. But outside of that, Terra making the smart decision of playing their life and not walking into the mage's ult at 8 minutes.
Yeah, pretty even game as far as anyone's concerned.
Toxic. No kill potential, just throwing the horse at Daji for no reason. That's
just because
that's the toxicity.
that's worthwhile poke.
No, it's not. You can, but now Lance is behind the tower, still chasing this Daji. I think, looking for him in the jungle, but Daji went speed. Daji went speed instead of Jez, but Lance still on the prowl. Rama waiting for him though. I think it's being calmed by the entire MSS team that Boss needs to get out of there. Kazar able to secure his own purple as Daji dashes in on this Lance. Lance going to use his ult to get out of there, but MSS is, or TKC is for and is fighting. Apal, Kumbal going down. Apal half health though, as the entire TKC looks at him. Daji dashing in, looking to finish the kill, but Kumba hitting a 3-person mez, buying his mid laner some time. Lance going to go. No, Lance not going to go down. Lance lives. Daji goes down. Corbin goes down. Now even Evan Lee on the Cupid goes down. That was a mess.
Yeah.
I thought Lance died 4
5v5
times,
just
and he just never
over
did.
5v5 fight over practically nothing. The purple buff was already gone.
That fight was a mess. Like, I thought Lance died like 4 times. I thought Alpwa should have died like 4 times. I mean, I don't understand what happened. I don't know how Alpwa got out. Lance ulted, and then just horse shield in general. He's kind of annoying to kill at this point. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
what
especially when
happened
his
with
Cupid's
killing
giving
the
you hard
Pwa?
damage over the wall.
We triple dove a full damage Alpwa at 10 minutes, and he lived.
I guess he just ate some corpses.
He did something. Someone make that man pee in a cup. Something's going on. And
We might be using performance-enhancing potions.
yeah, someone's using performance-enhancing potions, and I'm not talking mana pots. Corbin going to solo walk up to Bull, force out Alpwal yet again. But he's got Sands of Time and Deso, so that's fine.
And Daji just gets
Daji
flattened by the ground
dies?
joust.
But now Lance out of position. His horse is down. Someone going to hit the Tiger Stun. Lance tries to get up on his horse, but the damage too much for him. Going to immediately get forced off of it. Someone going to miss the ult on the secure kill, but Lance still barely any space for him to go. But he's just going to ride past Terra. Uses the up down to dodge the stun, and he is gone. There. I will say Osai hit an ult that stopped the Sunwoo from being able to chase. The little like root semi-stun effect or whatever of Osai's ult. But Lance just rode past Terra in the jungle. I'm guessing because, Terra, no buttons, no cooldown on the build yet. But Cupid now walking up with Kumba and going to actually end up stealing the purple. But, I mean, he's going to have to throw his ult for safety as TKC collapses him as 5. Cupid out of position. Alpha trying to ult to save him. Not going to, though. Rama in the air. Daji on the tower, or the whatever her ult is called. Going to pull in the Kumba, who is a support, but not tanky at level 9. Lance comes in.
Steals the last hit.
Yeah, of course.
On the
standard.
Kumba.
Lance going to come in, ult, secure the Daji, make it a 2-for-2. But Terminator and Corbin war criming Alpwa on the back as the Lance and Osai try to do the same. Ends up being another trade, mid for mid this time. Lance going up on the horse, but Kazar's got some items. So the horse is gone. Lance is running for his life, and it looks like all of TKC is looking to follow up, but Kazar doesn't need him if he can hit autos, but he chokes it.
He chokes. He misses the last auto.
And now someone who's going to get all the kill credit.
Just unnecessary. He missed one too many autos exactly.
One too many, but for a total of 37. Come on, man. Kazar beats me in ADC. We can't have clips like that circulating around. It makes me look worse.
Well, right now it makes him look worse.
Dang it. I wouldn't have won that guy. Now I see why we sucked.
Definitely a waste of a pick.
That had absolutely nothing else to do with anything whatsoever. Kazar just clearly not good.
I'm sure it was entirely his fault.
Has to be. MSS going to pull this bull. Alpwa probably no. He had no reason to. Oh no, I guess TKC going to creep in anyway, even with the crypts open. Terra just walking in as Daji as well, but it's a 4 versus 2 right now. I don't know how much time you can buy. Terra getting thrown up into the sky by the Kumba, but Alpwa still being pulled. All of TKC collapsing it at the perfect time. Alpwa going down, Terra being traded, Samuel down, Lancelot down, Kumba going down. Daji maybe going to fall to the Lancelot. Osai, excuse me. Lance getting a little bit of damage in there as well. But now Lancelot is going to go and be low on health. Somu instead deciding to try and help peel out his MLF. Now swapping his targets back to the Lancelot and hits the Tiger Stun on the Lance that's on his horse. Osai going to then blink commit, get the MLF. And I don't know if Somu Kong can chase down this Lance in order to trade it out.
Yeah, that fight was all over the place. Trades on each side, and the real winner is the Bull Demon King.
The Bull Demon King was
going to the way of the Mystic Sea Serpents.
What?
I actually feel bad for the Bull Demon King.
I did too.
He just sits there.
That
He
guy
takes
just
it.
spawns in to die. Almost as bad as the
He
minions.
takes it. He doesn't even get to stay the entire game. You know?
No.
He's
He
just
gets
gone
wiped
after
out
15
halfway
minutes.
in. Toxic high res. Unbelievable. Little bit of, it seemed like a target selection confusion in that fight. Last two for TKC. Dive going super deep, and the rest of the team is just not there, zoned out by this Osai. But as I say that, we're going to go ahead and get the beads off of this Alpwa. Daji alt down, Osai alt down, Kumba alt down, and then Daji alts down as well. So 3 alts, a beads, no kills, no objectives, no farm. All right. They're scrapping, man. This is an arena queue with less gold per minute.
I
That's
don't know
where
if
we're at
this
right now.
Daji is sitting on a lot of gold, but she's got an item and a half compared to the Lancelot's 3 completed items, including a full blood forge.
Yeah,
which
she's
is a little
sitting on
expensive.
2,600 and still taking fights right now.
Yeah.
Cupid, though, even worse, 2,800 in hand. But, I mean, when you're in duo lane, there's just farm up constantly. So if you're not under pressure, why not just be fat?
You could just stay and buy and farm as much as you want.
Yep, I agree. But Daji did back, spend all that gold. Still looks like that tier 3 item difference. Instead, third item only going to be a tier 2. Lance went Bloodforge. Did he do that last game?
I believe he did. He went it much later, though.
Yeah, Lance very happy with his performance and very confident in the remaining part of it. Going to get the Bloodforge third item. I mean, to be fair, every time Lance has gone in, he's gotten out by the skin of his teeth and left some half-health targets for his team to clean up. So maybe that Bloodforge shield, the difference between him having 4 kills and 6 right about now. Building it now.
I mean, if you're getting kills, you're getting kills. The shield stacking as well with the Lance horse is very
going to pull
nice.
this pyro, and I don't know if MSS knows. They will on accident now because Lance is staring at them over the wall, I think. Never mind, he was in the shop and then just rode out on his course, accidentally found it, but it doesn't matter because they've already gotten it. Corbin going to be just sat on by this Osai. Frostbound, stuns, slows out the wazoo from abilities as is. Alpwa going to get all in by this Daji, going to use Zegas, not going to be enough to save him. Corbin traded on the back end, but now Kumba on the chopping block. Somu goes up on the cloud. Kumba's passive activates, and Kazar going to go for the kills, but now Lance trying to run it. Kazar tried to buy his support a little bit of time to get up out of his passive, but going to eventually get poked out by this MLF. Osai trying to peel, create some space for him to get out. Cupid going to put down the Fields of Love, gets the stun on Kazar. Kazar Aegis's does not stop stuns, though. Goes down. Mental booming. Daji tries to go in, finish a kill on Ice Steel buffs. But thanks to the Bloodforge shield that he got from killing Kazar, doesn't die. So I called out the Bloodforge, and it immediately paid dividends.
Abyssal Stone coming in from the Osiris, pretty toxic considering his ult just got a buff, making it be negative 40% CDR. So now if he's ulting on top of you, you just have 60% less cooldowns.
Who needs self-safety? Who needs it, honestly? Into a Frostbound Osai with all the CC that he has in his kit.
I mean, if they don't have buttons, they can't hurt you.
No, yeah, valid point. Somu actually going to get him off the mass camp. Don't know if that's because Osai was too bored to trade it or what, but he is not going to contest it. Somu Khan going to just pick it up after he's done with it and secure it. And now we've entered a random state for the first time in the last 3 games where nothing is happening.
Yep.
Let's see how long
a little
this one
too
lasts.
early for a fire giant from
I
the
lied.
ADCs.
It's immediate trading, but it's not going to amount to anything. Sambu just going to bull his way out of there.
Not much going on the map. I assume hunters are just gonna try to farm up to 20 and then start grouping around fire. But if anything, the jungles are just gonna look for picks.
Yeah, Daji floating around mid with this Terra. Nobody home though, so Terra going to auto the Bastion for 31 a tick. Daji going to come in, give them a little aid, going to get the Bastion. Kumbo around the back end, going to hit a root, going to hit a Mez, going to ult the Terra into the sky. Daji immediately goes on the powwow and pulls him, but just going to dash away and get out of there. Evan and Sation walking up chew back up their Kumba, going to get them out of there. Lance is at their mass camp, which is a little weird because you know they just dropped it like a minute ago, and they're pulling a 19-minute fire.
Yeah, their hunter's ahead. He's got some crit, but it looks like they're gonna drop it instantly after getting ran at.
Yeah, it looks like a baited fight that unfortunately Terminator seems to be the victim of. Going to land immediately into Alpal, going to then
And gets out.
Beads and Bull, but now the counter engaged by this Rama and Terra, and it looks like the Daji, but Daji's not there to engage much longer. Osai zoning out, Kazar not able to follow up on any of the damage that was created because of it. And now Terminator once again back on the chopping block. Thought he was going to engage with his team, got left all alone as his entire team backed up all the way into mid lane.
And the Fire Giant will be pulled by MSS again. Hopefully this time they can stick to it. They have a lot of Posh corpses, so we'll see how good their Secure is.
People underestimate the Alpois Secure, especially when he's able to just throw 6 corpses on top of it.
6 corpses is some of the best Secure in the game.
Yeah, I don't know how many ults out damage a 6 corpse explosion, but I almost want to bet you it's single digits. Almost want to bet you it's single digits.
Maybe a fully charged ESET ult.
Maybe.
A Mirrored Cuckoo ult could. I don't think so though. I think Posh out damages that.
I think Paw does. I think Paw 6 corpse might be a top 3 secure in the game. But Fire immediately going to translate into a Primal, and the only person there is Terra, and they're all the way back at their green, but that doesn't matter for Osai. He was told to zone, so he's also just going to try and invade the green-purple right in front of 2 people, and they're not going to fight him for it. They're just going to 50-50 the secure and get it and just let him walk away, and frankly, I do not blame them at all. I also would not want to fight
definitely not a fight they want to take.
405 level 18 Osai. I don't know if Kazar wants to fight that guy right now, and he's the guy who's supposed to kill him.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need his last item in the starter before he even thinks about trying to take a trade with him.
Wasn't able to see the total game 1 for... I'm not even going to try to pronounce this Osai's name because I'm going to say it wrong and I'm going to get clowned because I'm supposed to manage this division. Zerv?
I'm pretty sure it's just Zerv.
All right. Zerv, an insane game 2 on the Osai and did not skip a beat getting into this one. Didn't exactly have a first blood at 30 seconds, but he did still have an insane mid game. Sun Wukong was deathless up until that last fight just now, and Zerv had just found 4 kills and 5 assists along the way outside of lanes since the laning phase wasn't as dominant in quotations. But looks like both sides just going to decide to split down different side lanes. And one side's got fired and one doesn't. So if we don't start backing to honor this, it's going to be a Phoenix push.
Yep.
They have bomb on Goomba.
He'll defend it. I don't know if he'll be able to. But they got to be a little careful because if they take a couple bad deaths, it could turn pretty quickly into an end call.
Game. If Terminator goes down here, they're in awful position.
And it looks like he'll most likely die here.
And then Kazar dies on the back end to the Osai. What? Are we like base racing a 3v2 defense and like fight right now?
Birds were traded. About the best you could hope for TKC.
No, not with 3 of your members. Excuse me. Daji was great, not actually down. But Terra's going to correct me and swap it down to 3 down again for TKC. I mean, we got the Phoenix, but if we're 3 strong at that Phoenix, Terra, Daji, and Rama, if we have 2 people defending against us, and we're still losing 3, like that can't happen, man. Or we're still losing 2, excuse me. Terminator died on the defense in solo lane, but I mean that can't happen.
Yeah, it's just too big of a risk, honestly, to split up that hard when they're pushing up to your bird with fire.
I mean, we did trade Phoenixes, and as far as the book of Smite knowledge is concerned, duo side Phoenix ends up being worth more, sets you up for a fire defense better, blah 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 blah. You know what doesn't set you up really well to contest fire? A 12k gold deficit.
Was that in the book?
I don't think so.
They should make a new version.
May have to update that one. Need a new guidebook for the game that's no longer releasing updates, please and thanks.
Well, now that it won't change anymore, all the information will be accurate forever.
True. The guidebook can't get outdated if the game's never updated. Fact. But looking at the graphs, I'm sorry, production, you pulled them up, and then I immediately am going to ask for them back because I am a garbage tier human being. This game's been a whole lot more back and forth than those graphs have led me to believe. But I mean, that is just a steady increase along the
Yeah.
lines of both of those. I mean, it is almost just perfectly downward at a
Yeah,
slant.
MSS caught a lead about 10 minutes in, and they've just been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it the entire game.
I mean,
Now
some
they're going to
little
look to pick up
bumps,
this Oni
but
Fury, and definitely will give them a ton of pressure that they want for this next Fire Giant.
yeah, we said earlier, hey, the dual lane is worth more, and I think Fire Wave still beats Oni Wave, right? Or does Oni
Um,
Wave beat one Fire Wave, or however it ends up working out?
I'll tell you what, nothing beats Oni Fire Wave.
Yeah, no, okay, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
No level 1 god can kill a level 20 god, since we're just stating the obvious.
You don't know that.
Well, MSS, just going to ignore that topic. MSS immediately pulling this Fire Giant. Only the Albois and the ADC back there, but TKC
It's just
can't
gonna
get
be
close enough
free.
to contest. I mean, it just doesn't matter. They cannot get up there in time. I don't know if it was just, slow to get there, or the zoning was just. Oh no, I thought
And
Dashi
Lance
was about
split
to get
pushing
punished.
mid with the bomb.
And it looks like
Takes the mid
MLF
bird.
possibly going to go down to Osai as well. Not possibly. He's gone now. Fields of Love being used, but not needed. I mean, Zerv just running him down. And now Kazar on the chopping block for Lance, but Lance rolled out. Kazar's in the air going to get the Lance. But now Daji's in trouble. Their Titan's in trouble. The set's in trouble as MSS gets 4 deep into the Titan room, but they're still 4 up on TKC, and they're doing a fight. Kazar is just a level 20 ADC as he autos through these tanks. But I mean, every time they walk forward, it seems like another player goes down. Daji joining them, and now Albois going to open the crypts in the Titan room as well. Sonic taking, or not Sonic, Terminator taking poke. The Titans below a quarter. They're just going to all in it, end it.
And that'll do it.
I mean, I just don't. The last 5 or 6 minutes, and chalk it up to me being a low tier player, chalk it up to me being a bad player in general, whatever you want to do, I don't care. It's fine. I'm a mid guard player. I know where I stay at, right? Uh, but I just maybe it's the better mechanics. Maybe it's the better player average. Maybe it's a coaching diff. Whatever. I between my mid guard brain and theirs, but I'm not understanding what the plan was. Those last, I mean, I'll say 5 to 6 minutes, but I mean, you could even say longer for TKC. Like, I don't think there was a point where Kazar was ever able to just comfortable or comfortably being a very bad term to describe any team fighting into what was that Osai, right? But I don't think Kazar ever had a chance to get Autos into Osai. I don't think
Yeah,
Kazar
he seemed
ever
to just get
had a
ran
chance
down
to
and out pressured every single time.
exactly. I I mean, I know we have Terra, right? And depending on how you want to look at Terra, right? Regardless of the end of the day, outside of Ralt, she has a singular root and a singular stun, right? Not much we can do about the Ghost Boy, right? I understand that. But it doesn't help when we're forcing bad fights, in my opinion. We're sending Terminator +1 to defend a 3 Fire Giant push in solo lane.
Well,
You have to know that fails. You have to
we
know
have
he
three
can't defend that.
people in duo lane on the other side trying to
Yeah,
push a bird.
while we have 3 people who push a bird, they get it, right? Like we
I mean,
nothing else to say. They traded Phoenixes.
I
But
understand the idea. Yeah,
die.
if you're gonna lose your bird, might as well try and get one of theirs.
But
But it seems just
it's
like a
so
pretty big
weird that we
risk.
just tap out on that. I mean, at the end of the day, what was it? A 20-minute fire?
Something like
Like
that, yeah.
I don't understand. I don't get why we were just like, "Hey, yeah, that Phoenix is gone." Like they didn't even give it a chance. And if we're not going to give it a chance and we're going to just turn it into the straight thing, then why are we putting Terminator in a position to die to buy time? Why are we still losing people on the attack? I just don't understand the process, I think. And then Fire Giant, we know what time it spawns, the countdown on the map for everyone available, but MSS is there an entire 45 seconds early, and MSS or TKC can't even get past their mass camp before it's a tenth of its health.
Yeah, just absolute domination from MSS once they got going in that third game. They didn't really let anything stop them, and they took advantage. They took very good advantage of TKC's mistakes.
Yeah, I steal Buffs having another really good 7-2 game, but I mean
They gave him
Zerv,
lines.
man. Zerv.
And yeah, the
6-0 and
Osiris was
7.
just in
I
there
don't know
doing
if
what
I
he
ever
wanted.
saw him. I don't know if I ever saw him in danger. I saw him in 1v3s and he was out trading. I mean, I don't think there was ever a point where I was like, yo, I'm worried about this guy. I mean, he just, whoever he wanted to fight, whenever he wanted to fight, wherever he wanted to fight, he took it, he won it.
Yep.
And if he didn't, he was saving his ult and he was just buying time for his team anyway, so it didn't matter. Insane game 3 for him. Insane game 3 for him. But without further ado, I guess that wraps up our set. MSS going to take the 2-1 victory over the TKC team in this, I think, first Jotunn set casted by the
I
actual
believe so.
official Smite channel. So, going to be the first ever casted Jotunn div win going to MSS. And unless you've got anything to say, Veroxas, that'll do for us.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Fun
Well, we
set.
thank you guys. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, fun set.
Yeah, it was very, very fun set. Very action packed. But without further ado, it was nice seeing you guys. Nice casting for you. Really great set. Glad we were able to actually cast game 2 and 3 of it. Thank you for joining us over at the Ragnarok Smite League Twitch. Nightbot's probably plugging leaks somewhere. Feel free to check us out on those websites. And that'll be all for us. Have a good night.